But we begin with breaking news. I'm Nick Medanis. The verdict is in this afternoon in the trial of a man accused of killing Sayreville Councilwoman Eunice Dwumfour. Rashid Bynum is found guilty on all 3 charges, including murder. News 12 New Jersey's Chris Keating is joining us live now from outside the Middlesex County Courthouse. Chris, take us inside the courtroom for that verdict.
Nick, good afternoon. In day 2 of these deliberations, this jury found Rashid Bynum guilty of murder. These 9 men and 3 women determined that it was Bynum who, in fact, pulled the trigger in February 1st of 2023, shooting and killing Eunice Dwumfour, the Sayreville councilwoman, a murder that took place right outside of her home in Parlim. As the prosecution said throughout this trial, Bynum tracked her, targeted her, and then executed this woman. While no motive was ever made mention of by the defense nor the state during this trial, apparently one was not needed to gain a conviction here. The state proved its case in a few ways, and one was they examined that murder weapon. They were able to recover it and get testing of it, and they found out that in fact Bynum's own DNA was on the slide and the grip. Police investigating the case also found that weapon inside the home in Virginia of Bynum's own girlfriend, a woman by the name of Kelsey Henley, who testified in court that in fact he did hand her that weapon. The other way that this conviction was secured was by investigators who followed Bynum's every single move before and after this murder. They followed his so-called digital trail, looking at his Gmail account, his E-ZPass records, and his cell phone records. They could see that before this murder, he rented a white Hyundai Elantra to drive to Sayreville. He was at a gun shop buying ammunition for that Glock 19 used in the murder, and then they would see that his cell phone was in fact in the neighborhood of Eunice Dwumfour before and right after this murder. As for the defense in this case, well, they argue the entire time that in fact he didn't pull the trigger, saying that he had no contact with Eunice Dwumfour and no animosity for the woman. So in fact, he didn't have a motive for the shooting. But in this case, the jurors here did not believe it. During the court hearing today, when the verdict was read, there was no reaction from Bynum, and the family of Eunice Dwumfour didn't have a reaction either. But I can tell you, the parents of Eunice were here every single day. Next in this process, we have sentencing, and Rashid Bynum is facing life in prison. Sentencing, we're told, will take place on Monday, August 18th. But right now, the news from New Brunswick outside the Middlesex County Courthouse is that we have a verdict. Rashid Bynum found guilty in the murder of Sayreville Councilwoman Eunice Dwumfour. In New Brunswick, I'm Chris Keating, News 12 New Jersey.